Alright, yo, what's up guys? It's Shadow. We're back for another video. Today we're just gonna be doing another kind of chill cook-up video. I apologize for my absence last week. I'll own up to it, but I am really gonna be trying to get these consistent one video uploads a week. There's a hair on my camera and I don't want that to show up on the video. Like I said, I just feel like cooking up a cool post-punk video today. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. So let's think BPM real quick. I might change it later on, but I'm gonna go with 155 just because I'm feeling I'm feeling a little mid-range today, but yeah, that's just the vibe I'm feeling. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up my post-punk snare sample pack, which I just dropped. If you guys want that, it'll be the first link in the description. And just as a token of appreciation for you guys watching my video. All right, yo, what's up guys? I'm editing this video and I totally messed this part up, but if you guys want 20% off of the post-punk snare sample pack, you can use post20 for 20% off, but hurry and be fast because this discount code is only going to apply to the first 5 people who use it, and once those 5 discounts are used, it's totally gone. So act fast if you're interested in buying the pack. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get back to it. But yeah, this is really what I've been using just to get these like crazy post-punk beats. Is like I feel like the sound selection is so key, and this is just like a whole kit, a folder full of just post-punk stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick like a snare and then probably go to one of my other packs for a kick. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tool snare. That's like my favorite one out of the pack, honestly. And then I'm gonna go to my Prologue drum kit, which is also a really dope pack, but not really the focus of this video. This one has everything. It has kicks, claps, snares, whatever, and it's for all sorts of alternative rock genres. But I have one kick sample in here that I think is just my favorite. Yeah, the heel kick just works perfect. And yeah, I'm probably just gonna lay down like a basic pattern that's pretty much what I do in like all of my beats, you know, like it's just start off with like a basic kick snare pattern and then go from there. I'm just gonna take this and paste it, honestly, nothing too crazy. Just to vary it up, I'll just take the last hit out of the second half, you know? I'm a reducer, not a producer, okay? Okay. I also want some more variation in the snare, so like... yeah, something like that, and then end it off. Yeah. So basically, I'm doing like this little double hit thing, but for the first half, this is like the normal pattern, and I'm taking the second snare hit and putting it right before. And then in the second half, this is where the normal snare hit is, and I'm putting it right after. It just creates like a slightly different vibe. Here's the difference versus... pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool. And then another thing I've been doing recently, which I'm actually going to pull up right here. Usually I use my Prologue kit. Hello? Where is it? On the other screen, because I have 2 monitors now and I can't seem to figure out how to make them work. Yeah, something that I've been doing in my beats recently is instead of using like one-shot drum samples that are like wave files, I've been using like drum VSTs for like the rides or the hats or just, you know, all of like the cymbal-based stuff because it just has this different feel. I think it's because it's a VST. They could like do certain programming that makes it like interact more accurately or something. I don't know. But like the cymbals and stuff like that, I've been using, you know, an actual VST kit because I feel like it just gives it that like more premium realistic feel. You don't have to do this for every one of your beats. It's pretty different for post-punk, but I just felt like it would be cool to do. So we're going to try it in this beat. And you know, it's going to be... hello? Where's the ride? Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to do the basics here. I hate that. I need to turn... Command spacebar, bro. That keeps happening to me. I hate Command spacebar. I think there's a better... what is it? Is it down here? Yeah, that one. So this is like 2 belly, you know, like they're hitting like the bell of the cymbal or whatever. Nope, that's that is a tom. Yeah, there we go. That's like the cleaner kind of sound that took me a really long time to say. And then also what I've been doing is like, you know, there's this like whole controversy about like if you pan things to the left or the right, like drum players are like, no, dude, it's gotta go one way or the other. But I just look at the VST. The ride is to the right, so I pan it to the right. Let's go like 20% and lower the volume, obviously. And I'm also gonna add a chorus, but I'm gonna make it pretty like quiet, as something I've been doing as well. I don't know exactly how people do it, but I do hear this like chorusy effect on a lot of like cymbals and rides, especially in post-punk tracks. I've been trying to emulate that. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it's how I do it. Yeah, I mean, maybe some accents, and then I think this is like a pretty solid drum pattern. I've also been trying to focus on like simple is better, you know? So like this is like the bass drum pattern. Honestly, even if you took out the ride cymbal, that's like the very bass, and then I add the ride, and then I'll add maybe 2 percussions, like a tom and an open hat or a perk or something like that, and then that's it. I feel like I definitely have a bad habit of putting like 10,000 percussion samples in my beats, and I've really been trying to focus on like letting the melody shine and letting the drums kind of just be like the supporting factor, which I think is better for like any alternative rock instrumentation, really. I was gonna go to Prologue, but I think to give it more of like a genuine classic post-punk feel, I'm gonna go to my Machine Classics pack, which if you guys want, you can actually get that 100% free. I'll link that in the description as well. Basically what I did is I sampled the Linn Drum Machine and the Roland TR-505, which are 2 of the most iconic drum machines in like all iconic post-punk music. I'm gonna go with the Linn Drum because that's really more popular with like Mulchatoma and stuff like that, and I'm gonna pick Tom 2, why not? And then maybe the clap. Yeah, to me the Linn Drum clap is just like classic. So that's good as it is. Let's get the tom in. I want it to be like a lower pitch. Okay, I'm gonna turn that down. All right, and that's honestly sounding really cool, but just to add some slight variation, I'm gonna take the tom pattern, I'm gonna paste it and just do like a double hit. Something like this. That sounded pretty good, man. I'm gonna get a bus going, so let me itch my eye. One sec. Pretty basic. I'm just gonna take all of these, control and then drag with the left mouse to select them all, then pick an empty mixer track. I guess I'll go with 8. Go to the bottom, right click, and then click route to this track only. Now everything is playing through that insert, so any effects that I apply to the drum pattern will apply to all of the samples, so I don't have to go into each individual track, which is really annoying. I'm going to add some RC20. God, dude, these 2 monitors are really getting me. Get over here. So I'm gonna go ahead through RC20. I've been really enjoying putting RC20 just for some extra like color and warmth on my drum patterns. I'm gonna go into my Process RC20 bank, which has 50 super fire tape emulation presets, analog emulation presets, drum room presets, all the stuff that you'd really want. Yeah, I think I like this Chambers preset, but I'm gonna change it a bit. So usually like what I did is I made these presets super extreme, obviously like very harsh, very heavy. And the idea is, you know, you feel it, you feel the vibe, you feel whatever texture it's giving to your drums, and then you just take it back enough so that it's listenable and it doesn't sound like it's actually coming out of like a tin can or something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just alter this EQ. The EQ is mainly what like cuts a lot of the frequencies out, and then I'm gonna turn the width back to normal because I had it like completely mono. So yeah, that gives it like the color that I'm looking for. I'm gonna turn the noise down a bit as well. And then, you know, I'm actually gonna take the magnetic all the way down to like 4%. So the magnetic is making the drums kind of like dip in and out in a super like organic, you know, tapey kind of way, where it had those like unintentional like dips in sound and stuff like that. I like to use those a lot in my melodies, but it's not really great for the drums. So I'm gonna turn that down super low. This is how it sounds without RC20. It's really good, but it's not like dirty and old feeling. And when I turn it on, you could also play with the magnitude. So like if you feel like it's still too much, here's it completely off. As you bring it up, you know, it's gonna get more and more intense. And then as always, let's get some fruity reverb in here. I usually just use the default fruity reverb, honestly. I am gonna turn the wet down though. You know, what is the ER? I don't know what that, why are we in the emergency room, huh? And then obviously I'm gonna turn this down. Sure, sounds good to me. What is that? How much? 13%. It's It's just there to get some extra color in the melody. Hello, melody? This is the melody? It's just there to add some extra texture, soundscape, you know, stuff like that. I'm just throwing words out there at this point, man. But yeah, this is definitely one of the key aspects of like post-punk drums is like you want some tape saturation and you want some reverb. But yeah, I'm happy with this drum pattern. Now we're gonna move on to the melody, and I'm gonna do something pretty cool. Something that I've been doing in a lot of my beats recently is that I personally have a really hard time like starting the melody concept. I've said this before, but you know, drums come way more naturally to me. Melodies are not really my thing, which is something that I want to improve on in 2025. But especially now that I'm making alternative rock tracks, you know, pulling the instrument out, plugging it in, doing all these extra annoying steps. I also just hate wires in general. I wish there was a wireless guitar. I wish that was a thing. With all of those challenges, I find it a lot easier to start the melody idea in the DAW. So what I'm going to do and what I've been doing in most of my beats is I find that I have an easier time starting my melody with the bass lines, whether that's through a VST or with a real instrument. And luckily, basses are very easily emulated in VSTs. Guitars are basically impossible to emulate in VSTs, so we don't really have that alternative yet. But I'm actually going to go into Flex in it's like a default plugin in FL Studio, and they have this free essential bass guitars pack. You just go to this get section and it's like completely free to download. And my favorite preset, if you scroll all the way down, there it is, Terces. Sounds really realistic. So I'm not going to end up using this in the end track, but it is really great for just like getting an idea down, getting a concept that you could build off of without having to pull an instrument out. If that is like kind of like a mental roadblock for you, like it is for me, this is super helpful. So I'm just going to mess around with the MIDI and make a cool pattern and see what ends up happening. That sounds pretty freaking cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's like post-punk, dark, but it's also like a little gothic. I think I want this second half to change like a little bit so it's not like super repetitive. Another thing that I've been really trying to lock in on is like don't have everything just be like repeating 4 bars. Post-punk is a genre that has a lot of like tension notes that are one semitone apart, a lot of repetitive aspects that are still super catchy, but you don't want it to just be 4 bars over and over again. And that's like a bad habit that I have, is just like getting lazy and repeating the 4 bars over and over again. So for me, the bare minimum is pacing it to 8 bars, making a variation in the second half. Sometimes I'll even pace it to like 16 bars and create some variation, but for the sake of this video, I think I'm just gonna go with like the 8 bars. I want something here and then something at the end. Change this up. I think I'm just gonna go with like the classic octave switch because it's easy to do. I mean, yeah, that sounds really cool. So I think I'm just going to rock with this. I'm going to pull my bass guitar out and get like a tone that I like. And then we'll, you know, record this into the DAW. And then I personally feel like that's a great way to just like get the ball rolling with your melodies, have an easier time recording and all that stuff. Okay. Honestly, man, that was pretty easy to get. So like I didn't have any rhythm in there, so I want to go like well, something something like that. Let me get my pick. So I always pick down kind of like here when I'm playing bass in like post-punk because you want that really like nasally tone. Like mess around with like a bass tone and then we'll just get this recorded in. All right, so I have this bass tone that sounds pretty dope. It's just Guitar Rig 7 with the BG General Tone 3. It's like a very basic, like it's like a raw tone, you know, just running through like an amp cabinet. Fruity Reverb default turned down to, if I could see it, 23%, and then a Fruity Chorus default turned down to 32%. And when you finish all that up and you play it kind of like down towards the end to get that nasally feel, you mess it up and you embarrass yourself. So yeah, let's get this recorded in. It will probably take me a million different takes, but don't think I'm gonna get the perfect take, so let's just go through here. So that last part, I might just piece it in because I'm not the best bass player, you know? So let's replay that end part real quick. And then I'm actually going to piece this end part together with multiple takes, which, if that makes you mad, whatever. So I wanted to kind of go like, that sounds so stupid. And then hit the lower octave right in the middle. Mess that up. Okay, so I got to move this. There it is. There it is. That's it, honestly. Like when I'm recording with an instrument, I look like a freaking goblin while I'm trying to look past my microphone. But yeah, this is sounding pretty good. Obviously it's not perfect, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is like edit it a bit in post. So there are two ways to quantize things. I haven't really mastered the first way, but I'll show you guys it. So basically, double click on the audio file, right click it, and then click Edit in Time Warper. As you guys can see, it tags certain parts of the melody, and you know, you can kind of just click and drag it around and quantize it. Super dope for getting your like audio in time if you are not a professional like I am. It just makes it really easy, and honestly this is the easiest time I've had with it, so I'm not even gonna really go over the second method because I don't know, why would I? This is working perfectly. And then basically once you have it quantized to your liking, you can just click this little button right here and drag it in. All you got to do is take it and reroute it to whatever track it was on, and it should be good, man. Let's see how we did. That's pretty crazy, man. I've never had like that easy of a time with it. Obviously it's not the perfect bass take. There's some bleed and stuff that you don't want. You could hear it right here. You could hear, so there's some like ring from the other notes and stuff like that, but that's something I'm going to clean up like after the video because it's not really a fun process. It's just me recording like I just did over and over again. Hopefully that can give you guys some pretty cool perspective on like having an easier time recording anything with instruments. Honestly, this could obviously apply to many different instruments. But for specifically this video, it's really cool for guitar, bass, anything that you're recording in live. If you want to quantize something, it's not just quite on grid. Obviously something like Ableton will have a better way to do this, but this is pretty close, man. I'm not gonna lie. I guess it's guitar time now. So for the guitar, we're obviously gonna be doing some layering, but I made this tone and it's pretty simple. It is Guitar Rig 7 with the Clean Machine preset, which is just basically an amp simulator. Fruity Reverb with these presets. I upped the wet and the decay a little bit, and then a Fruity Delay with the Ping Pong preset, as well as a very basic EQ just to take all the low end out so it doesn't, you know, interfere with our bass line at all. And it has this nice little echoey, like, I want that kind of like fresh, kind of like shiny tone, and I feel like that's pretty good. So I'm gonna kind of follow the format that I have going. Where did that sound come from? Yeah, I like that. I think that could go really well. So let's record it in, man. So since this is like a simpler pattern, I will show you guys like the other way that I quantize things. Basically, it's gonna be this tool right here, the cutting tool, and then this tool called the slip tool. These are gonna be your best friends. So basically, you can see that these are off time. So I'm gonna cut right before the note starts and then switch to the slip tool and then just click it and drag it in the direction I want it to go. You can see this one's a little off, so I'm gonna cut it, grab the slip tool, drag it back a little bit. It doesn't really work as well for like chords and bass lines and stuff like that, which is why that quantizing tool is really great in FL Studio. I think you guys kind of get the idea. It's a little loud. And then since I want to like stack and layer things, I'm going to pan this a little bit to the left. And if you just want, you know, that ear candy, that full feeling where it's bouncing back and forth, you can go anywhere from like 20 to 40% and be totally fine. And then the really nice part about that, like, you know, manual quantizing thing is when you have them in individual audio files, you can kind of hear when like you played one note like way too loud, like I did here. So you can literally just drag the decibels down. And yeah, I want to add some more to it because it's super dope, but it's like a little simple. So yeah, let's grab the guitar again and just add some stuff on. I want to like fill the melody space out with something in like a higher octave, but still with the same preset. Really, I'm using those tension notes again by just using like these two notes right here that are two, you know, semitones apart on the guitar. And let's just record something cool. I like it. I think this end take is the cleanest, so I'm just gonna crop it up. And I'm gonna do like a very slight, you know, drag onto the grid. You don't need your guitar takes to be like perfectly on grid because it's an instrument and not every, you know, instrument player plays everything perfectly on grid. That's super dope, man. That sounds really awesome. So I guess I'll just riff like a second idea for the guitar. And then, I mean, obviously we could do a lot more, but you know, simple I find is a lot better. So why don't we just go simple? So for the kind of like melody that's panned to the left, I have this like wobbly tone. It's a little bit different. We have Guitar Rig 7 with the MS Wobble and Bit Crush, default Fruity Reverb, Fruity Delay with the Ping Pong preset, Fruity Chorus, and then a Fruity Love Filter with the default preset, and then the same EQ. Pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and record something. And what I'm going to do is, since like everything, the drums, the guitars, the bass is like perfectly quantized, I'm actually going to purposefully leave this pattern a little unquantized. Not everything is hitting perfectly, just to add to that like imperfect feel. And now that we have something panned to the left and the right, I feel like we just could use like a main guitar melody down the middle and we might just be done, honestly. I've only been recording for an hour, dude, and my camera's at 16% battery. It was at 100%. I need to buy like multiple batteries now that I record in 4K. Ugh, fancy. So I've pulled up this final guitar tone. It's kind of like a slightly more distorted version of what we had going on. You know, we have these very clean ping-pongy presets in the left and the right ear. So when the chorus really hits and everything's going crazy, I just want some distortion. Something that's going to make it just feel very different. You know, you want a lot of like movement and change in your track. So yeah, sounds a bit like this. Cool. that sounds pretty freaking dope, man. So let's record it and see what it sounds like. It's not the perfect take, but I'll take what I can get. That's a good one. That's funny. Kind of click these around, drag them. I'm kind of flattered that some of these are perfectly on the grid, man. Like, you think I'm that good, huh? I don't know how I messed that up twice in a row, but let's grab this one little piece right here and just repeat it for the sake of simplicity. Cut it here. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Guess I'm not gonna have any time to structure the beat. There's something going on in these videos when I record them, but I had a lot of fun with this video. I think this is actually one of my favorite beats that I've just like, you know, had no intention, just came in here, cooked up a vibe. And hey, if you guys liked it, leave a like. I would appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. I will have a video specifically going over structuring coming very soon for all you people who want to know more about structuring. I'm cold, freezing cold. I live in New Jersey and it's January, so it's like 20 degrees. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, leave a like. If you didn't, don't. All of the drum samples that I use in this video, as well as a lot of the processing and stuff like that, you can find it all on my website, which I will leave linked down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good day or night. Peace.